Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Pendergrast, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about GMOs. So, GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, have been a topic of discussion for many years. According to Britannica, a genetically modified organism is an organism whose genome has been engineered in a lab to favor a desired physical trait. Usually, these organisms are modified on a molecular level by including genes from another unrelated organism whose traits could not be easily obtained by conventional selective breeding. Humans have been crossbreeding and selective breeding to produce plants and animals with desired traits for thousands of years. However, these techniques take a long time, and it's difficult to make specific changes. Beginning in the mid-1900s, scientists began to develop ways to make similar changes in a more specific way over a shorter period of time. According to the FDA's timeline, the first hybrid corn was produced and sold commercially in 1922. In 1940, breeders learned to use radiation to randomly change the DNA of organisms. Biochemists developed genetic engineering by inserting DNA from one bacteria into another in 1973. Throughout the 90s, the first wave of GMOs became available to consumers in the form of squash, soybeans, cotton, corn, tomatoes, and potatoes. The World Health Organization developed international guidelines to determine the safety of GMOs in 2003, and in 2015, the FDA approved the first genetically modified animal for human consumption, which was salmon. The use of GMOs has many benefits over unmodified organisms. GMOs can be used to grow crops bigger and faster. It can also be used to make them naturally resistant to insects and make them more nutritious. According to an article titled Genetically Modified Foods, Pros and Cons for Human Health, increased food production was one of the most important reasons that led to the development of GMOs. The author states that with a growing world population, the demand for more productive and efficient food and agriculture will be more felt. The author also talks about how produce can be genetically modified to display a resistance to insects and fungus. Many plants are susceptible to insects, disease, and fungus. This can decimate a population of a specific crop and have a dramatic impact on the harvest. On top of this, eating these crops infected with fungus can be detrimental to human health. Creating an organism with natural resistances is beneficial to farmers everywhere, especially those in third world countries who may not have access to or have the money for pesticides and fungicides. Another benefit of GMOs is that you can make a crop more nutritious than the unmodified version. One example of this is golden rice. An article written by David Daw from the Food and Agriculture Organization states that in low-income areas where rice is the main staple, they were seeing large amounts of people with vitamin A deficiencies. Vitamin A deficiency has many symptoms, but the worst ones include dry eyes and blind spots. If left untreated, this will develop into total blindness and eventually death. In order to combat this, golden rice was created. Golden rice is a genetically modified rice that contains beta-carotene. The Golden Rice Project has faced many setbacks through the years due to people's hesitation to consume GMOs. However, according to the Golden Rice Project website, the Philippines became the first country to approve golden rice for planting on July 21st, 2021. And the year 2022 marks the start of a massive production of golden rice. Although there are many benefits to genetically modified organisms, there are also some disadvantages. There has been a debate of potential for genetically modified foods to be toxic and create allergic reactions when consumed. An article by Chen Zhang states that Starlink maize, a genetically modified corn, has been linked to allergic reaction in consumers. The corn was infused with DNA from a species of bacteria in order to create a resistance to certain insects. Unfortunately, the pesticide properties came along with a strong allergic reaction after consuming Starlink maize. In an article discussing the impact on the environment and ecosystem diversity, it states that genetically modified crops can create bugs that are resistant to pesticides and weeds that are resistant to herbicides. These pesticide-resistant insects have been labeled superbugs. This is something to keep an eye on because some GMO technologies that work really well today may become less effective in the future. In conclusion, GMOs are organisms whose DNA has been altered on a molecular level to produce desired traits such as insect and herbicide resistance. Humans have been crossbreeding and selective breeding for thousands of years, and within the past 100 years, we have learned how to change the DNA to get quicker and more specific results. There are many benefits, which include the potential to save hundreds of thousands of people from blindness, but there are also some downsides. These include possible health risks and the potential to create pesticide-resistant bugs. I would encourage each and every one of you to do your own research and determine what is best for your health. Thank you for listening.